Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this very exciting afternoon where we will be announcing the winner of the Max Margles Fiction Prize for the first time. The organization, if anyone doesn't know it, is the Quebec Writers Federation. We're a very vibrant community of English language writers based in Quebec in Canada. We have with us today some of the people who were instrumental in making the Max Margles Fiction Prize happen for this first year. And I have the honor and privilege of introducing the person who is really the sine qua non for the prize. A very unusual woman, a true 21st century patron of the arts. For years now, in her husband Max's name, Rosalind Margles has endowed what is arguably the most prestigious series of lectures in Montreal at the Jewish Public Library. The series has featured such world-renowned authors as Salman Rushdie, Isabel Allende, and Ian McEwan. In 2019, Rosalind made it possible for the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts to acquire an important and glorious painting by Elaine de Kooning. Bill at St. Mark's, a tribute by another woman to her husband, in this case, Willem de Kooning, is a wonderful example of abstract expressionism. It's the first painting by Elaine de Kooning in a Canadian public collection, and you should definitely go see it. A few years ago, Rosalind approached QWF to see what she could do to advance the career of a deserving Quebec English language author. The outcome of our discussions was the Max Margles Writing Residency, a one-month residency in Dublin, Ireland, ostensibly to take place in the summer of 2020. This was a long-wished-for addition to the opportunities QWF could present to its members. But unfortunately, the coronavirus forced us to delay by 2 years. The good news is that this coming August, fiction writer Tracy Waddleton is finally heading to Ireland, where she will spend a month living and writing in St. Patrick's Lodge on the grounds of St. Patrick's Cathedral in central Dublin. What is perhaps most remarkable about Rosalind is that even before we were able to complete that residency, she approached me a second time and said she'd like to do more. That led to the creation of the Max Margles Fiction Prize. With a purse of $8,500, it is, as far as we know, the largest such prize to be offered by a provincial writers' organization in Canada. I'm going to let Rosalind take it from here and tell you why she decided to do this now. Please exude as much warmth and gratitude as you can through the internet and welcome Rosalind Margles.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Lori. Hello, everybody. It was quite an introduction, much more than my whole life there. Okay, well, people probably remember 2022, that's this year, as the year Russia invaded Ukraine, but not me. My memory will be of less cosmic consequence, the creation of the Max Margles Fiction Prize at the Quebec Writers Federation. Why now? Good question. COVID and other factors have had a negative effect on the economy and have caused anxiety and stress in the lives of many. I understand it is never a simple task to write a work of fiction. Even finishing a first draft may seem impossible when the writer is faced with the obstacles that may certainly crop up in daily living. So now seemed a good time. Why a fiction prize? My late husband, Max, loved to read. Primarily, but not exclusively, fiction. Meeting authors and discussing books with other thoughtful readers delighted him. After he died, as Laurie said, it became my mission to endow projects in his memory, always focusing on things that were meaningful to him. Reading was high up there on the list. My hope in inaugurating the Max Margles Fiction Prize is to offer financial help to offer financial aid, help, same thing, to a promising Quebec writer, and there's so many out there, to help propel a worthy project toward completion and ideally publication. Now that would be wonderful. I'm thrilled to announce that the winner of the very first Max Margles Fiction Prize is June Park. Congratulations, June.
Congratulations, June, indeed. And there she is. We'll give her a chance to speak in a few minutes. But in the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit about the jury. We had 3 jurors from across Canada participate in the decision-making for the prize. We did have 49 eligible applications, which is quite a lot, given the small pool of possibilities, just the English language writing community in Quebec. The 3 jurors were Carolyn Addison, Meenakshi Alamchandani, and Eddie Boudel-Tan. We do have Eddie here today representing the jury. Eddie's the author of 2 novels, After Elias, a finalist for the Relit Awards and the Edmund White Award for Debut Fiction, and The Rebellious Tide, which was published by Dundurn Press in 2021. That book was a finalist, or is a finalist, I'm not sure. Yeah, is a finalist for the Farrow Grumley Award for LGBTQ fiction. In 2021, he was named a rising star by the Writers' Trust of Canada. His short stories can be found in Joyland, Yoke, Gertrude Press, and the G&LR, as well as in forthcoming anthologies from Arsenal Pulp Press and Woolsack and Wynne. Eddie lives in Vancouver with his husband. Eddie, would you say a few words?
Yes, thank you so much, Lori, and congratulations, June. I'm thrilled for you. And hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be a part of this celebration. I had the great pleasure of serving on the jury for the Max Margles Fiction Prize alongside Caroline Addison and Meenakshi Alamchandani. We read and considered dozens of submissions across genres and literary styles, all from incredibly talented writers at different stages of their careers. Much of what we read was compelling, evocative, and beautifully written, but what rose above the others was What Beauty Remains by June Park, a novel about the Korean comfort women who were exploited by the Japanese military during the dark days of World War II. Following one woman's journey, the brutality of war and coercion come to life through poetic prose and raw, unflinching emotion. Though the story reflects on a time and place that may feel far away, urgency instills a narrative, at once a reckoning of the past and a warning for our turbulent present. So, June, I understand that you hope to give voice to the women who were silenced by shame or force, and we are all eager to see you succeed. May this award help you on your journey. Congratulations.
Thank you, Eddie. June Park is a writer, editor, arts consultant, and cultural connector. She was born in Korea and has lived across Canada from Vancouver to Tiohtià:ke, Montreal, where she is currently based. She studied literature at the University of Calgary and the University of Toronto, where she got her master's degree. Please join me in welcoming the very first winner of the Max Margles Fiction Prize, June Park. And June, yeah.
Hi, and thank you so much. I think Lori can attest to how incredibly thrilled and surprised I was when I learned that I was chosen for the Max Margles Prize. I've had the chance to encounter the Quebec Writers Federation in different capacities over the years while working in the arts in Montreal, and have so much respect for them. QWF is such an important part to the writing community, so incredibly warm and welcoming and supportive. And this recognition gives me so much affirmation and support, for which I'm so grateful. The Max Margles Prize grants me time to realize a story that I've been working on the edges of everyday life for longer than I want to admit. My goal is now to deserve what I see as a really generous and grand vote of confidence and the faith that the jury has put in me as a writer to tell this story. I'm also grateful for the recognition that the voices of these women are compelling and deserve to be heard. Isabel Allende said, and I have this on my wall in my room, write what should not be forgotten. And this story for me is an attempt at remembrance. It's also especially meaningful to receive the Max Margles Prize, knowing the spirit in which it's been created in honor of someone who so loved and valued literature. Fiction and poetry have always been the way that I've mediated the real world. And to write for me is the most challenging endeavor, and to be the recipient of this prize is so motivating and galvanizing. So thank you so much to everyone at the Quebec Writers Federation. Thank you, Rosalind Margles, and thank you, jury, for this honor and this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, June, for joining us here today and opening your heart to us. We couldn't be happier to have you as the first winner of the prize. Thank you, Rosalind Margles, for all you do for QWF and for the community of Montreal in all the arts. Thank you, Eddie Boudel-Tan, for joining us at 9 o'clock in the morning, your time, and probably even earlier for the jury meeting, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, thank you all for being with us. We are looking forward to hearing from June again at the end of her 6 months, I guess it is, in October, to see how she's done during this period. And we all are hoping great things for her in the future. Thank you and have a nice afternoon.